Administrative Adjudication of Road Traffic Offences Act is coming into law. It works on a demerit system for drivers. Various organizations are against the act, saying it takes certain rights away from motorists. Well, let's get some details about how the new system is going to work, and I'm joined by Road Traffic Infringement Agency Chief Executive Officer Jeff Chue. Jeff, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Now, for many of us who still don't understand how the system goes, just like very briefly take us through what happens. What are this? Let's start with the kinds of offences that would lead to points being accumulated, and in the end, eventually perhaps having one's license revoked.
Thank you very much for having us, Vuyo. At the very outset, let me explain the basis and how the system actually operates. The Aarto is one of the administrative processes whereby it has a significant number of attendant benefits that an infringer or a motorist can be able to take advantage of. The first starting point is, in the current system under the Criminal Procedure Act, traffic violations are dealt with under the Criminal Procedure Act, and on that basis, when one is found guilty, you run a very terrible risk of actually attracting a criminal record based on those. The majority of the court cases under traffic that are dealt with within the court systems actually relate to the minor sort of offenses which are called infringements. Now, the decision was, take all these matters, which are in the main, the majority of it, deal with it administratively. The first benefit that you would have, they would eliminate the possibility of a motorist attracting a criminal record.
Okay, what are the sort of infringements
yes.
you're talking about?
Those are the infringements.
That category.
Yes. The easier way to be able to look at that is those kind of violations that do not have generally the ability to result in a loss of life or serious injury to either that particular person or to any other road users. So those are the ones that are in the majority, and we will deal with them administratively. The second benefit that the Aarto provides is an interactive kind of a system that empowers a road users to engage with the system instead of waiting for a very long period of time. Under the Criminal Procedure Act, we know traffic matters can be in the court roll for periods exceeding 2 years. That is the reason why the Deputy Director of the National Public Prosecutions made a directive that instructs that any traffic-related matter not dealt with within a period of 2 years must automatically be scrapped. Now, the Aarto provides an interactive system with certain time frames that if one engages with the system, you are able to even increase the benefits that are related, that one can take advantage of. So when you are in a position to then use any one of the elective options that have been provided, the first one is you don't have to sit there and say, I have this infringement, I'm going to have to make a payment. If you are not happy with it and you've got a strong case, one can challenge it. And when you challenge it, you then submit a representation to the RTIA. Now, the people that issue traffic violations are the traffic officers, who in the main are employed either by the municipal traffic departments or by the provincial traffic departments. The RTIA does not employ any of the traffic officers, so we don't issue traffic violations. That becomes a benefit that is given to a motorist because you now have an independent arbiter that can look into all those issues and we make a determination. The second benefit that is also given in terms of the independence is, in the rare events where somebody is not happy with the outcome from the RTIA, you can then go to an infringement appeals tribunal, which is a new structure now that is included in terms of this new act. And that empowers an infringer to challenge the outcome coming from the RTIA, and you have a second leg of protection that is provided to that infringer. So this is something that we want to be able to emphasize for people to understand, and with the education and empowerment programs that we're starting to roll out, people will get to be able to understand these are the kind of empowerment that has been provided to us. The demerit points system, how it works, it is one of the most fair and objective kind of easy mechanism used to identify habitual infringers, so that we can be able to take them out of the driving fold, attend to diversionary programs whereby we can address their attitudes and their behavior with a view to be able to rehabilitate them. The intention of the Aarto is not only to be a punitive measure. It is meant to change the attitude so that we can jointly contribute towards increasing road safety. Everybody knows.
How is that done? How is that going to be done? In other words, how are you going to rehabilitate somebody?
Yes. In terms of the procedures that are now being provided, a habitual infringer is defined as somebody that had their driving license suspended for more than twice. So let me explain the demerit points. Everybody will start off with a clean slate at 0 points. And when one commits traffic violations, you get points allocated according to the severity of that traffic infringement. And the duty that we all carry is to ensure that we stay below the threshold of 12. As soon as we go over the threshold of 12, the applicable suspensions comes into play. And the suspensions will be operated on 3 months for every point that one is over the threshold. If you're sitting at 13 points, then your license is suspended for 3 months. If you're at 15 points, it's suspended for 9 months. Because it's not only a punitive measure, in circumstances where we see a 3 month period has gone without committing any further violations, and you've got allocated demerit points to your record, we recognize that as the ideal behavior that we want to push you to, we then provide you, incentivize you by giving you a reduction of 1 point in cases where you have that, until such time that you are able to eliminate that and be at a scale of 0. That is the duty that everybody else has in order to ensure that we all protect one another by not committing any traffic violations at all.
Very quickly, when is this new system coming into effect?
We are going to be rolling it out throughout the whole country in the coming year, the year 2020. However, we're not just sitting and waiting for that period to come. We have started with a program of action that provides a suite of services, the first among which is the intensive education and empowerment of all the road users. Because we don't want to simply say, this is a new law and we automatically punish people without giving them opportunity to be well educated and to start changing their attitudes and their own behavior. So it is an educational process that we're undertaking. Once we are comfortable that everybody else fully understands their rights and their responsibilities, we will then start with the implementation of countrywide basis of the Aarto.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure we haven't had the last word on this. We'll be talking about this in the next few weeks and months. Thanks very much for coming through. Road Traffic Infringement Agency Chief Executive Officer Jeff Chue. More news when we come back. This is Nightline.